Hey guys, Krista from Hilltop in the Valley here, and a few weeks back I had a conversation with my sister-in-law and friend Stephanie about English gardens and how she's put together her English garden. And I can't remember if I actually mentioned it in the video, but I did have an English style garden. It's right behind me. I realized I haven't really brought you around the gardens that I have, and I have to tell you, my gardens are nothing like hers are, but they're still wonderful to me. I love it, I love doing it, and I don't think that they have to be perfect in order to be useful and to be wonderful to be in. So I thought today I'd just walk you around and show you what my garden looks like, and hopefully you can get some inspiration for your own gardens at home. I have, this is either a poppy or a peony. I can't remember which is which. I started growing poppies and peonies from seeds, and I put one of them right here and I put one in the back, and I don't remember which one is which, so it's one of those. I've got a lettuce that was just totally getting eaten. I had parsley here, which my dog has trampled down, and then over here I've got, let's see, I've got some delphinium, and I've got some echinacea that one of my close friends just brought me, which was a sweet gift. Back here we've got some dahlias and zinnias. I think the dahlias are actually not blooming at the moment. So I've got marjoram right here, got basil. The basil's not doing the greatest. I did grow that from seed, which I'm very proud of. I'm not sure which one this is. If you know what this is, this pink plant here, let me know. I think it might be some kind of a carnation, but it doesn't grow tall. Sam, out. Going out. Behind this, I have a ton of lemon balm. Here I've got the thyme, rosemary in the back. This rosemary plant started last year. I mean, it was like, it was just a teensy tiny thing. And now it is so big. It's amazing how fast some of these things grow. This, the same way. This sage plant, oh, I've got a football here too from the kids. The sage plant started last year, same size, it was just one of those plants that I transplanted in, and it took off, and the flowers on it, it's hard to see now, but they were gorgeous purple. Thyme down here, and it has also taken off. It kind of is like a ground cover. Bring it over this way just a little bit more. So back here, I'll see if I can move the camera a little bit, but I've got these huge hollyhocks growing. But I've got a few lilies that are just getting ready to open up as well. So it's a little bit cluttered, which honestly I kind of like, because I know that right now something's blooming and then something else is going to bloom, and it's just like this domino effect where it just keeps going, and I just know that something else is coming. Hey everyone, so I am here on my east side garden. This is my vegetable garden, although I do have some raspberries and strawberries here as well, but mostly vegetables. So I've got first a couple of raised beds. This one I have peas growing, and oh my goodness, I just noticed I have a 5-year-old son that placed some metal gardening things around, just having fun. I did have a bunch of garlic back here. I have one left that we have not picked yet. Here we've got our strawberry bed. This one isn't quite full yet, and when we first made it, we used weed barrier, and then we planted the strawberries inside after we had cut out holes for them. At first it seemed like a really good idea and we liked it, but after it's been about a year now, a little over a year since we did it, I think that we are just going to take the weed barrier off and try and mulch around the strawberries instead, because there are still weeds that come through the holes, and some of them are easy to take out, but other ones are really difficult. So you're looking at our little raspberries that we just put in last year, and then behind them is our main garden area, although it is really starting to get overgrown with grass. I really need to weed it out. We actually have some squash put in there. I think we have butternut and spaghetti squash over here. But here's the thing, we put in a bunch of straw, and straw is not supposed to have seed in it, but apparently this one had a lot of seed in it. We had a couple weeks worth of rain come down, during which I didn't do a lot of weeding at the time. And after that came down, just all of this grass started coming through the straw. And if you pull it out, it doesn't even go into the dirt below. It's grass seed that had just come up through the straw, and it pulls the straw up with it. So that was a little disappointing because I was pretty happy with the mulch at first. So behind me is our long shoot of peas, and I made this trellis for it, which I was pretty happy with until I realized that the peas needed a much larger trellis to grow on. For some reason, I can imagine beans growing so big, but when I think of peas, I just think of them growing up to about my waist and then stopping, which the last couple of years, each year I am just shocked at how big the peas get and how much they want to grow. So the sun has just beat down on them, and I don't know, I think maybe it has just been a little bit too much for them over here, whereas the peas on that side get a lot more shade, and so I think they have a much better area to get away from the sun and heat. So behind me is our trellises that we made for the beans. My husband cut the sticks from a lot of the trees that had blown over during our ice storm this year, and it worked out perfectly because we had a bunch of trees this year to get sticks from. And then I just used twine to tie them at the top, and we did this last year. It worked out great, and so I just wanted to do it again this year. This is my big area for weeding right now. This is the area I need to be going through and has been kind of neglected, but our beans are starting to come up, which is really encouraging. Hey there, so this is the final part of my little garden tour, and this is the new area If you watched my Elements of an English Garden video a few weeks back, you'll remember that I started out that video by saying that I had this area in our backyard that we were trying to make into a garden, and it was going to be a long process because it's a big area, and we've never used it as a garden before. It has a lot of weed problems. It's right next to kind of a swampy area, and so the weeds just love the moisture that comes in from over there. But I thought I would just show you where we're at. We've done a lot on it in the last couple months. Right behind me is my broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage area, and I'm gonna say it's not doing well. If there's one of like the things that I'm most disappointed about, it's probably that area, because I made this area so big, and we did do it as like an experiment for a no dig. We put down the cardboard, we put on just wonderful soil over the top, and I've had one broccoli just sprout up and bolt. Still trying to figure out if it was water, if it was soil problems, if the soil was built up too much around them, if the soil didn't hold the water in, exactly what that was. It could have been, you know, not having enough of some certain element in the soil, who knows. But that's all a part of gardening, is you win some and you lose some, and you just keep trying to figure it out, and it's a long process. This is my pumpkin, and I'm thinking I think it's pumpkin and butternut squash over here. And we just mulched it quite a bit with grass, and I think it's just grass and the straw, and that has been working pretty good. We haven't had a lot of problems with the straw sprouting up grass like we did in my other garden, so that's nice. Then over here a little bit more, we walk down this little path. You can see the tomatoes. And so these ones down here are peppers, and I do have a lot of weeds coming up in them right now. This area next to it is just full of weeds. Then we're hoping to take out the weeds and then, you know, mulch it, cover it, just really try and get out the weeds before building it up into maybe like a raised bed, since it's kind of on a hill, and eventually this whole kind of tilted hill area will be a raised bed, so we don't have to worry about the watering issues and other whatever issues come with having it on a hill. See if I can get the camera to steady here. So behind me, I've got our tomatoes, and they're kind of curling, and so I know they're a little bit stressed. I'm just waiting to see. Some of them look like they're doing better, and I'm just really hoping they're gonna start coming up a bit more. I'm gonna turn you around so you can see from this top angle. This is so this is the garden area from the top angle. There's a tarp behind me where we're trying to stop the weeds in that area as well, and it's not pretty. I mean, I'd say it has a beauty, but it is not like a perfected beauty, and especially having this path in here has really helped the beauty of the garden, I think, and just making you want to walk out here and walk the path. I don't know what it is about paths, but there's something about garden paths that is just really inviting. Behind this clump of flowers and things, that the flowers that you see over here was actually here before we put in the garden, and so I have not done anything with that. Oh my goodness. My chickens were digging in here. Okay, so I had this looked wonderful. This looked wonderful this afternoon. And now my chickens have dug in here. So that is or was Brussels sprouts that were doing just great. And that's what I'm gonna be doing this evening, I guess, is trying to fix that and see what I can save in there. So the picket fence that you see, we got put up on my birthday week. What I had asked for my birthday was a work day to work on the garden and just get some things done that I had been wanting to get done. And so my husband and my dad and my brother came over, and my husband put up the picket fence and my brother helped me put in this path into the garden. That is one of the things that has helped me most, because it's really busy having 4 little kids, and that is to do things with other people when I can. If it's having a friend over to weed with me, or I mean, like, even just to ask for people to come over to help out with things. You don't see that very often anymore, and so having that done for my birthday was a really special thing. Yeah, that is something that is definitely a good gift. My other friend came over today because she wasn't able to make it to my birthday work day, and she worked on an arch that is right next to the garden, and she worked on just weeding that out for me. My dad came a little bit later to help out as well, and they cut back a bunch of just overgrown stuff. I'll show you in just a second here if I can turn this camera. But it's just so wonderful to have family and friends that will do stuff like that for you. I've mentioned before that I will do like work parties with friends. We used to actually have kind of a weekly schedule where we would go from house to house, and we would get there, we'd bring our little kids, and we'd say, okay, what needs to be done? And for that week, it would be that person's turn at their house, and they would just have a list of, okay, these are the things that I really would love to get done, and I would love to have your help doing them. And we'd work, and it might be vacuuming, it might be doing laundry, it could be doing a project like painting, just about anything. But someone would kind of be checking on the kids, and everyone else would be working together, and just having people help each other out, especially in busy times like this, I think is one of the most meaningful things that you can do to love on each other and serve each other. And